Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 443.
443.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Today we're talking all about the Disney Wish, and this is our part 2. I don't think we're going to do a part 3 because...
We'll see.
Well, we have another cruise coming up in a few weeks, which was booked through MEI and Mouse Fan Travel because they are not only Disney specialists, but they're cruise specialists as well. And Becky has done 2 cruises. I do not know if she's on the next one this week. It feels like she's living on cruises.
It'll be strange with her not on the ship.
We don't know if she will be or not.
That's true.
But they're really researching. So if you have questions, if you book with them, they can certainly help you out.
So I hope everybody is hungry. We're going to see a lot of food in this episode.
Well, certainly a couple of the table service dining options were at Worlds of Marvel, which is an Avengers themed. It's a dinner show. Mm-hmm. So really something very unique for the Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah, this is something that I had been looking forward to probably the most because, an actual interactive Marvel show at sea sounded really good.
And we talked to the chef, Chef Andy Bell here, and we'll see him later as well at the Frozen dining experience.
My name is Andy Bell, and my role is I'm one of the culinary managers. So a part of a team that develops recipes for the fleet, for the cruise line, and bring them on board and then implement along with the shipboard teams.
And what are we looking at?
Well, we're looking at Marvel Restaurant. This is a selection. It's not all the menu. It's just a selection of some of the items that we have on board. A little bit about the development side. We try to have as much fun as we possibly could with this restaurant, being a fun entertainment restaurant. So we kind of base the dishes on the characters and worlds of Marvel. And you'll notice that when some of the menu names and ingredients that we've used. We have our jumbo shrimp. So that was, I'm sure the Quantum Core had something to do with that. And that's served on white cheddar and Parmesan grits with a smokehouse barbecue sauce. That's one of my personal favorites. And then we have the Babette's spiced pork chop, which is center cut pork. And we serve that with what we call our Wakandan pilaf rice. And then that's served with a red pepper sauce and pomegranates. So the spice is kind of Ethiopian blend, Babette. So we kind of introduce flavors from, it's a globally inspired menu. We have the lamb shawarma. The fans of Marvel will kind of recognize a shawarma reference. It's very, very common, and that's our playful take on the shawarma. So cumin inspired, cumin marinated lamb, and with pickled red cabbage, pita, and then we serve it with the hummus and a yogurt dressing.
And can you tell us about maybe some of the desserts? I see this looks amazing.
The Pim Technology Sundae, again, I'm sure if you get to dine in the restaurant, when you get to dine in the restaurant,
Tonight we'll be dining here.
you'll see something to do with the show with that. I don't want to give away too much.
Looks like that donut has been shrunk.
Well, I don't know that, so maybe tonight you'll find out for sure. Chocolate glazed donut, ice cream, and pecan brownie, and covered with the sprinkles.
So you were open last night. Did any favorites stand out? Were guests ordering anything a little more than the others?
No, I mean, it was pretty even, which is a good sign. Mm-hmm. And the bao buns are very popular. They're light, fluffy pillows of a slightly sweeter dough, dumpling dough, and we have the ginger orange pork belly glazed, sliced inside with the pickled daikon. That was very popular. The ribeye steak, a center cut, thick cut ribeye steak. That's served with a black truffle butter, whipped yukon potatoes. That was also very popular. And I have to say the sundae was that was a standout for adults and children alike.
I'm already looking at it.
Yeah, I mean it's a guest favorite. So.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite personally?
For dessert or
for both. Yeah.
I would definitely have the sundae because
Okay.
I like donuts and
Who doesn't
why
like
not?
donuts? Yeah.
And I like the pork chop.
That looks good. I was going to go for that. I think
It's,
that will be my dinner.
The spices are very, very flavorful, and I just think everything on the dish, it's colourful. They all complement each other tremendously. So that's my favourite, personal favourite.
And I know it doesn't translate, but it smells amazing where I am
I
right
mean,
now.
we're very, very happy with how the development of all the menus, but definitely Marvel gave us the chance to have as much fun as possible. That was, we were able to incorporate flavors from, like I said, from around the world, with references to the characters.
So
and
you were
worlds.
able to work with them a little bit on that.
Yeah. It wasn't so. Sometimes a theme of a restaurant can be, you should kind of stick within that. But this one gave us a lot of freedom, and we were very excited with that.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much. Look
It
forward
looks
to tonight.
amazing.
Thank you. Enjoy your dinner tonight.
Oh, we
yes,
will.
we
Thank
will.
you.
So here we are in the restaurant. We're seated, and as you can see at the beginning, before you start to get your appetizers and things, you're just kind of seeing highlights from various Marvel films on the screen. So the story hasn't really started at this point yet.
And I'm going to say it's not a quiet meal. So if you're looking for a quiet meal,
Yes,
you might-
definitely the least quiet meal I think you can get.
you
would
might want to
be-
go to Enchante or, Palo for dinner instead. And here is our menu. I still have to, write this up, but I think I might wait until we dine there again in August.
Notice on the silverware, the Avengers logo and the butter, the plates, it's very nicely themed.
And I noticed the plates. I'm not sure I noticed the silverware until, you just mentioned that. So here is the menu. And I want to mention, so the Sundays, all of the rotational dining has a Sunday.
Yes,
So if
yes.
you like Sundays, you're going to love the Disney Wish.
So I went with the jumbo shrimp to start. I thought this was very good. Nice, solid appetizer to start.
Not a lot of shrimp.
Well, no, but you don't need too much because I was trying a
Yeah,
variety
that
of different
is
things.
true.
So I am glad it wasn't too jumbo.
And this is, we've got Scott Lang and Hope, and we're going to shrink down, as I
Well,
recall, this
there were a
suitcase.
few little mishaps that happened as far as the ship being shrunk down by accident, and they had one of the towel animals shrunk up. So there's all kind of shrinking and enlarging going on here.
Right, and so you have this quantum core on the table. So this is where the interactivity, comes about a few times. And so, like, you press the button. It's not, it's not totally exciting, but honestly, anybody I knew who had kids love this.
Yes,
so,
that's true. We did
everybody I
talk-
knew, yes.
And there's the giant towel animal there. And now okay. Here's the main course. I had the lamb chop that was recommended by the chef. The lamb chop was actually not as good as I would have hoped. It was a little dry for me, but I did like the flavor. So it is the very first night. I'll give them.
It was totally the first night. So I had the chicken schnitzel and also potatoes. It's chicken schnitzel. I've made chicken schnitzel before, so it isn't. It's got the breadcrumbs and everything. Not out of this world, but it was a nice meal. Again, first ever as far as guests on the ship. So again, in a few weeks we'll see what's different.
So we're looking at more of the show here. We're not going to show a ton of it. I don't want to spoil it. If you are interested in seeing the full show, though, we will link that in the end of our episode here and in the show notes. But you can see you have Captain America there, and you're going to see a lot of characters, various characters that are brand new, like Ms. Marvel. There's Ms. Marvel right there.
Well, not tons.
Ultron is the
Yeah.
villain, so I will give you that spoiler. So you'll be seeing Ultron.
Not tons of characters. I mean, you have
No,
Ms.
there
Marvel.
were a few characters.
Yes,
in there.
a few. Yes, you've got Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, and Captain America are the main ones here. And then we're going to see.
Oh yes, so now, all right, we've cut way ahead. The story is over, and now we have Ant-Man and the Wasp making their appearance. Now, when you go to this dinner, you're waiting the whole time for this. So this is really a highlight. You're actually seeing the real live characters. Everything else has been on the screen. So this is really the finale, the climax of the meal.
I think honestly that they should have more Ant-Man and Wasp in the dining room.
Well, that's
a
what
little
everyone
more.
says, but
Yes.
I don't know how you would do that. Maybe you could sort
I'm
of
sure they could
write the
figure it
story
out.
differently so they can make 2 appearances. Here's some official footage of their appearance because we didn't have them by our table that long.
Right. They just sort of moved along, and they stopped briefly, but
When they go in another room, you could see on the video screens them interacting in the other room. I think I'm going to show that. And here they are. They're coming back into our room. So, I mean, you can't really get a picture with them. Maybe a quick selfie if they happen to stop.
But it's very dark.
Very
it's really
dark
dark.
and
Like
it's fast,
the
yeah.
official footage makes it look like it's light in there, but it's not. It's dark. So to get a selfie would not be as easy. I just think that there should be a little more character, and why not have Ms. Marvel and
Well, now
Captain,
you're
have
talking.
more of the characters come through.
And here you have a little show element here because we were fortunate right by the where they come out of the kitchen, and you could see some of the desserts have been enlarged. I'm glad we didn't get that. There's a giant Mickey bar and a giant cookie.
And I would say that I wish they did more with the large items, small items, as far as the menu, like Pim Kitchen at Disneyland Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does that probably better than any of the parks right now as far as really a themed buffet. And I think that they should have played around a little bit more with the large and small aspect.
So all that said, we're going to look at the highlight for me of the entire meal, and that would be the sundae that you're about to see here.
Which
this
did
was
have
delicious.
the small. Which
This-
did have the small.
That's right. Yeah, this was definitely the most creative of all the items, I think.
And I think with each of the rotational dining, it probably was the most creative at each one. You've got the little Pim on there, and I thought this was a really nice dessert.
And not only does it look nice and it's very themed, but it tastes really good too. It was delicious.
Of course, it's ice cream and it's a donut.
Speaking of desserts, here is the dessert menu.
And we tried the quantum key lime pie, and also, I'm not sure how to say that, but it's a layered cake with truffle cream and caramel.
And there it is. Kind of reminds me of a Napoleon there. Very pretty. Looks nice.
Right. I mean, the desserts are very good, I thought, at both the rotational dinings that we did and then the key lime pie.
And you said you were going to mention, I didn't show it, but there was an appetizer that you liked, the soup.
I thought that the porcini mushroom soup was very good. So that is something that I can recommend. And I thought after the meal, I thought I should have gotten 2 of these, like I would have enjoyed 2 of them.
So now it's time for another dinner show.
Arendelle, a frozen dining adventure, and we're going to talk to chef and culinary manager Andy Bell again.
My name is Andy Bell. I'm one of the culinary managers with development for Disney Cruise Line.
And can you talk about the different items here we have for the Arendelle dining adventure?
Yeah, this is a selection of our dishes. So let's start with one of the proven to be one of the guest favorites already, which is the kind of Swedish meatballs. So it's a blend of pork, beef, and veal. They're braised in a creamy rosemary reduction sauce, and we serve it with pappardelle pasta. So yeah, it's proven to be a big hit already.
It looks great.
Next we have a juniper spiced chicken breast. So we're freshly toasting and grinding the junipers, crushing it and placing it onto the chicken breast, and we serve it with double fried potatoes.
Oh.
So the reason we do the double fried is, I'm from England. We kind of we like our French fries or fried potatoes. So they're light and fluffy inside on the first cook. On the second cook, they're nice and crispy on the outside. And we serve that with a wild mushroom ragu. So one of our guest favourites as well is very light and refreshing pan-seared sea bass. And we serve that with Romanesco, green and white asparagus, baby spinach and baby leeks. And we serve it with a Mahad vinaigrette, which is a Nordic wine. So very light, very refreshing, and it's served with a pan-seared scallop. Just below that we have our cold board, our cold table, if you like. And it's very traditional. We have a hot smoked salmon, and hot as in it's smoked at a higher temperature. And then we have our dill sweet shrimp, our honey mustard dressing, and a potato lefse, which is filled with a trout and horseradish cream. So again, this is kind of traditional. The menu is it's classic food with the Nordic influences. So that's also proved to be very popular. And then our royal baked scallops, which is the crowd pleaser going into the dining room when they get the service team walk through the dining room. It's poached scallops, and it's served with a rich, velvety shrimp bisque sauce with rainbow carrots and baby leeks, and then topped with this beautiful puff pastry crust. And we can't leave without talking about some of the desserts, right? Everybody's favorite. So we have our sundae, Elsa's sundae, which is mint chocolate chip ice cream, marshmallows, whipped cream, and snowflakes.
That looks great.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
marble
adults, children, you name it, it's proved to be very, very popular. And why not? Right?
Yeah.
And then we have the Trolls chocolate cake. So we have pistachio rocks. If you get you can see the pistachio rocks that we've done that, and then the hibiscus meringue. Trolls chocolate bar.
I'm getting very hungry.
We're so happy. We had a lot of fun creating the menu. Like I said, classic kind of dishes, but with a Nordic influence. And we had a lot of fun. So I hope the guests enjoy it.
We'll be here tonight.
Thank you very much. I can't wait.
you.
Oh, let me ask you this: what is your favorite item?
My favorite item is the scallops.
I would see that was what I was going to go for.
Yeah,
I'm going to take your advice again.
Poached scallops, shrimp, velvety bisque, and the vegetables inside. Like I said, the rainbow carrots and leeks, and then the puff pastry crust tops it off. So that's my personal favorite. And my personal favorite dessert is always the sundae.
Oh yeah,
That's why we have the marble sundae.
Yeah, you had the marble sundae?
Yeah, we have the marble sundae
So you should try the Arendelle sundae. Yeah, but they're both excellent. So.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
And now we are here at Arendelle, a frozen dining adventure. So we're heading in, and we're skipping what felt like the longest hallway ever, although a very interesting hallway we spent a lot of time in. So Queen Anna and Kristoff, this is their royal engagement party, and you're invited on the Disney Wish to join them.
It really works, actually, and we'll
Yeah.
see more about that as we go along. Here are some nice, very nice, accurate busts of Anna and Elsa.
Yeah, I mean, there was a ton of theming. Again, I mentioned that hallway. I was there for an hour taking photos. But here we are at dinner, and we've got the characters coming in. There's performers also, 2 performers. But then you have Anna, Elsa, Olaf, a large Olaf puppet, and then Kristoff.
And don't forget Oaken.
I totally did.
Who is wandering? Wandering
Yes.
Oaken.
I totally did forget. And so we were further, while we're watching this, and you'll hear all the, great Frozen songs. This is set kind of at the end of Frozen 2. Mm-hmm. So we are set far back in the room.
We were actually right in front of the soundboard, and there was an empty table, so I was able to stand. The reason I was able to get good video is I wasn't blocking anyone, and I was able to stand. But it's in the round, so the stage is in the center, so you may be right up against the stage, or you could be far away. But really, there's no bad seat, I don't think.
Well, our seat was not as good a seat. However, one of my favorite things about that is that they brought everybody around to the tables that were further back. So it really brought the show to you.
So let's take a look at the food. We're going to start off with a little salad here. I think we both had the salad.
I don't even remember the
This
salad.
was. I will get this next time. Yeah, the salad wasn't memorable. I will get this next time though. This is fantastic. With you have shrimp there, you have salmon, and now this was the best. And the chef had recommended it, so I took him up on it. Flaky, the scallops with the flaky. I forgot what he said, but it was nice, hot, absolutely delicious. Both of these items I will be getting on our next cruise.
But it doesn't look like a scallop dish. So I ended up with a carrot soup, which I quite liked. I liked all of my soups on the Disney Wish.
Did you just make a carrot soup?
I did.
Was it inspired by this?
No, I made a carrot ginger soup yesterday that looks just like that.
So you had mentioned about the characters coming around, and you are very right. I would rather have a farther away seat and have the characters come right to the table. You have selfies. They interact with you. This was fantastic. And you really felt like you were at an engagement party. You know, everybody was really into the theme. Here comes Princess Anna here, and she's going to show
Kristoff,
her.
right?
And Kristoff, she's going to show
ring.
off her ring. Somebody asked, "Can I see the ring?" You know, it was very, very well done, I thought.
If you are in the front, I was told by somebody who was in the front that they didn't get the characters coming around. So it was more for us, from what I understand.
If you have
because
a farther
we're
away seat,
yes,
right? And that's a good trade-off, if you ask me.
I totally agree. I thought this was the highlight for me of the whole meal.
Right. Although the musical performances were
good.
very well done also. I mean, I enjoyed this whole experience. I actually enjoyed this more than the Marvel, and I didn't think I was. I was originally thinking the Marvel would be my favorite, but this was... Oh, and so right now you are seeing Kristoff and Oaken are singing Let It Go, the most unique version. I did not expect to see Let It Go sung by these two.
And I will agree that I thought Marvel I would like better than Frozen, but I preferred the Frozen over Marvel.
So I ended up going with the steak here. It was a bit fatty for my tastes. Everything else was good, but I found it a bit fatty for me.
I probably wouldn't.
Next time I'm going to get the chicken. After rewatching, that chicken looks really good.
Me too. I might get the chicken next time too. Like...
You went for the meatballs, and I tried one of the meatballs. I wasn't a big fan, so I'm going to definitely go for the chicken next time.
At least on this meal, the meatballs were not that... They were kind of hard, and actually so was the pasta, although I ate some of that.
Right.
It wasn't my favorite meal.
But no, I have to take it back, though. The appetizers, everything up to the main course... Excellent.
I liked it.
But I was disappointed in the steak, just a bit fatty.
And dessert was good.
Well, we haven't gotten to that part yet, but here, typical cruise show here with all the waitress, the staff comes out and a big party at the end.
All the servers come out and they do, it's really nice that they are involved as well.
And there's various effects. Now, this was this was a preview cruise. I'm told there are some effects that weren't working, including some snow effects. So, depending on when that you do the cruise, you might even see more effects, more things going on here.
And I'm hoping to. Like it's very hard to talk about everything not knowing what we might see that's going to be a little different next time.
And we'll give an update, of course, after our next cruise.
The performers were excellent, and what I really liked about this over Marvel is how, the live show aspect of it. To have the characters there and the singing and the...
You really felt like you were at an engagement party. You really did.
It was fun.
So let's take a look at here. This is the dessert menu. Very nicely done.
And we're going to open it.
Yes,
right?
Indeed. We're going to open it. We will indeed open it. And of course, I went with the Elsa's Coronation Sundae.
And I went with the chocolate, of course, the chocolate bar. Everything that I like chocolate.
And there it is. That was actually quite good.
It was chocolate. It was very chocolate,
Well, but the piece de resistance is coming up. This was another fantastic sundae.
Well, I mean, it's got the mint chocolate chip ice cream and everything.
Look at the snowflakes in front. I love mint chocolate chip. We have some. I may have that after the show, maybe.
And I mean, they're fairly standard sundaes, but they're nicely themed. And if you like ice cream, this is what you get for dessert.
And this is after the show. All the performers have left, so there's no, you don't have to worry about missing anything.
Right. And you do it for the gram.
That's
the sundaes
right.
are for the gram.
So now we're at 1923, which we didn't dine for dinner, but we are going to show breakfast and we're going to show lunch. And those were two of our favorite meal experiences. They were excellent. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. It reminds me of the Brown Derby in a way.
Mm-hmm. And I keep calling it, every time I think about it, I say waltz.
Yes.
Like at Disneyland Paris.
Right, but it's 1923.
Right.
Although there is a Roy Disney room and a Walt Disney room. The Walt one was not open to us. We only dined here, and we're going to give a little tour here. This is the Frozen section of the Roy Disney room.
This is a very classy restaurant, and most of who I have talked to like their dinner here better than as far as food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no entertainment for dinner at all. It's strictly just a very nice dinner experience.
But for food, a lot of who we've talked to preferred this over the other two locations. So I can't wait to dine here. We were at Enchante
Yeah,
that
how
night.
horrible we were at Enchanté.
But this has been the one that I've looked forward to the most otherwise.
So we're going to talk about breakfast and lunch. So this is the first one, and it is breakfast, and it was right after Enchanté. So I wasn't exactly starving, so I got a little bit less than I normally would.
Most everybody we knew, it felt like we were bumping into everybody because they wanted to come here. Everybody loves the dining room.
And I went with the omelet, just a little omelet and a Mickey on the side,
And I
Mickey
had-
waffle on the side.
I had the chocolate chip pancakes with bacon.
And there's a fresh orange juice. Also, we had pastries that you can choose from.
Right, I had is that my chocolate chip, going with the chocolate chip theme there?
Indeed it is. And there, again, I wasn't really that hungry, so I just got a very basic small omelet. And as you said, for the Graham, I had to get the Mickey waffle on the side, so I'll show him too. But it was actually very good. I enjoyed, it was a very relaxing, nice atmosphere, and the food was good for breakfast for me.
And it wasn't fancy, but it was very nice. And again, you're in a great setting, and I got some unsweetened iced tea, which I just enjoyed. I enjoy this setting. I enjoy sitting here. I enjoyed our meals here, and I'm sure we'll be here many times, during our 4-night cruise.
Yeah, I definitely will take full advantage of that. Now we're going to take a little bit a different look again. This is the Moana section.
And we're in the Roy O dining.
Disney, correct?
We did not get into the Walt's dining room, so I'm hoping that we will be in there once or twice. But there's a lot of Moana here. There's a lot of Moana throughout the whole ship.
Oh, that's right. We're going to take a look at that
Cove
very soon.
the
The
Cove
Cove Cafe.
Cafe.
I didn't even realize that was Moana themed,
But-
and I was there for an hour.
Because there were so many guests in it. But when I went in there first thing in the morning, it was open on the day we disembarked. I went in early and took some photos and video. I'm like, oh, it's Moana themed. And I had been in there 2 or 3 times before that and did not realize it. Plus the Tower Suite. Have we talked about the Tower Suite?
Not yet, no.
Oh,
that
so
was
we-
also Moana themed.
Yes. So that's something we need to talk about as well.
So now we're looking at lunch. This is the lunch menu, and it's three different pictures here to show it all.
Oh, is this?
And I had the fried calamari as my small plate.
And you know what? I was looking to see if I could find the lunch. So here is. I guess I must have gotten the fettuccine with the chicken then, huh?
That's right. That's what you got.
I just remember the pasta. I do not remember the chicken.
It
so
started
much.
off with some nice bread here, and then I think you got an unsweetened iced tea. We're going to show
did.
that. Look at that. That looks very nice.
I like a freshly brewed unsweetened iced tea.
I could have sworn we both got salads, and it wasn't anything special, but it was a nice salad. And let's take a look. I think our
No, it
main
was
course
good. It
is
was
coming
good.
up. Oh no, the calamari. The calamari, excellent. I loved the calamari.
Okay, well, you'll have to get that again.
I will get that again. I will if it's still on the menu, I will absolutely get that. I know it rotates apparently.
This was a number of weeks ago, but the pasta itself, the chicken.
There it is. That was great.
I don't remember the chicken really, but the pasta, I really like the pasta here. So definitely I would get this dish again.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was just what I wanted, actually. And we're going to take a look at some of our friends
I love pasta.
Matt and Jackie from Attractions Magazine joined us. This is Jackie's kefta burger, and she said it was actually very, very good. It came with fries. I don't know, and Matt
Looks like a meatloaf or
had
something.
the meatloaf, which he enjoyed. So, what do you think was the highlight of this whole experience?
The dessert.
Well,
oh my gosh.
This was the molten cake. Molten
Yeah.
cake was okay, but if we follow the lead
sundae.
here, that's 1923 Sunday was delicious.
You get that for the Graham, but the molten chocolate, I think,
They were
was
both
the winner
good.
for me here.
Very, very tasty. So anyway, highly recommend 1923. We will be going there
I just
again.
remember saying we need to come here every day for lunch because I enjoyed it so much.
And breakfast.
Even if I don't remember the chicken right now, I just remember I'm such a big fan of pasta. I love pasta.
So now it's time to move over to Pirate Night.
And this is the Pirates Rockin' Parlay Party. This is hosted by Captain Red. And then
There's
we have
Captain Red and
yes,
Captain Jack. For that matter.
two captains, just like Captain Mickey and Captain Minnie.
But before this, there's a nice rockin' party there. I even got to hear Rock and Roll All Night, one of my favorite Kiss songs, was played on a Disney vessel. How good was that? And We're Not Gonna Take It, I think, from Twisted Sister.
Yes.
Some other great songs from the 80s.
Well, right. I mean, it felt like an 80s party at some points. And also, you have like the Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me sung.
But a rockin' version of it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good.
And then we were able to see fireworks, which is, really one of the hallmarks of the Disney Cruise Line and has been since the inception, is a fireworks at sea.
I've been told since this, there's been a second launch point, so the fireworks show is even better. Or a third launch point, I should say. Sorry.
Well, again, we'll see.
We'll see.
We will
that
see
in
what
person.
it looks like.
But I thought it was great. I mean, you got a nice crowd here, and apparently it'll be even much more crowded with a full ship, I'm sure. So we'll have to get there early to get a good spot.
And I'm not sure if ours will be a completely full ship because it's, late August. Kids
right.
are, a lot of kids are starting to go back to school and everything.
So now it is early morning on our departure day, and I was asleep, soundly asleep. But Denise ventured out onto the ship and got some great video, so I will let you give us a little tour of what we're seeing here.
We were out a little later than planned the night before with friends, and so I wasn't sure if I'd get to do this, but I was up and I was out of the room at 5:30, and there is the Toy Story splash zone, and we've got the Cove Cafe over here. And also I think that's the Disney Dream. So it was just a beautiful morning. I really love being out and about really, I saw almost nobody.
Yeah, you could see there's maybe one person, a couple people in the distance, but very few people.
A few workers, but very few who are doing anything of note at this point. And, at this point, the pools are covered up. Well, they probably are at night anyway.
Right.
And, everybody's really getting ready to disembark the ship. So there's reasons that, there are people who aren't up, but there's probably people just kind of getting their stuff ready to go. But it was I was surprised the Cove Cafe was open, and we're going to look at that.
It's very nice to see this adult area, though, because when we were here, it was very brief. We were on a tour, so we didn't really have a chance to kind of relax. And I'd like to do that on this coming trip, have a drink either out here or inside, and maybe even if it's not too crowded, use one of these pools.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't go into pools. We didn't really use the balcony. Like, we really were kept busy this time. So to be up, and I was out for about an hour and a half, just to kind of wander the ship. And I've not seen everything, but I got to see more.
Well, you did a great job. I mean, this video is excellent. It's so nice. Now I can absolutely see, even from a distance, some of the Moana touches in here.
I didn't even know, like, we had been in here 2 or 3 times, and I had no idea it was Moana themed until I came in, and I'm like, oh, it's Moana themed, because, like, there was only one guest and then the cast member who was here. So I was able to just kind of walk around and look at everything. And I found that very interesting that I didn't notice because whenever I was in here, it was busy.
And some elements are similar to the Tower Suite. And I will link to our video. We did a full tour of the Tower Suite as well. And we don't have time to talk about that now. But I will link to it, and it's self-explanatory. It's beautiful, beautiful.
I think after our next sailing, we'll do one more cruise and show, and then when we can talk about that as well. Mm-hmm. And so not to have like 4 cruise shows. So I mean, it really is. It's a gorgeous space, and again, when you have a lot of people in here, you just kind of sit down and you don't really take it in.
I see my seat back there where I had multiple drinks and chatted with many people.
Yeah, we had a group meet in there for a couple of hours.
I love this footage. The Chip and Dale here, I only saw them from the ride going by very quickly and wet, Mm-hmm. So it was nice that you were able to get up close and actually, cast away or bust there. That's excellent.
And, being out here now also, you don't have people running around in bathing suits and everything. Don't have people running around in anything.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can really do this while the ride is running, or maybe you would be
not
looked
so
at
easy.
Funny if you tried to do that.
I prefer being out and about when there's almost nobody here. And it was just, look at this, it was just such a gorgeous morning, and it was a little sad. I don't show it. I sat in one of these seats because it's like I hadn't sat in a deck chair. I hadn't sat in anything.
And we haven't sat in the downstairs deck chair. We haven't even
Nothing.
walked around
No.
down there. So there's a lot of the ship we have yet to see.
I sat in one of these chairs and I took a photo, and or a
I
couple
saw
photos.
that photo.
Yes,
I was wondering why that photo was
because
there. Now
I
it
actually
explains
sat
it.
in a chair. So anyway, you can see the Aqua Mouse here, and just really great lighting, great time of the morning, which was probably like 6:30 a.m. or something at this point.
I'm going to have to get my butt up on the next cruise and do this with you, because this looks wonderful, very relaxing.
Maybe not necessarily on the final day, although if I'm up at 5 on the final
Yeah,
day,
who
I'm
cares?
okay to
We're
do that.
leaving on the final
But
day, so it doesn't matter if you're tired.
I want to make sure that I, have it before that final day, just in case. So, so we had been, I think, just again kept busy, so it wasn't like I had the time to do it except on that final day, and we had to be off the ship pretty early. I think we had to be off the ship by
Like
8.
7 or
between
maybe
7
8,
and
yeah.
8, or maybe 8.
So that is another show. We want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
That's another show. Check them out if you're looking to book a cruise on the Disney Wish. Once you book, if you have any questions, they can certainly answer them for you. They can help you also, of course, Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Universal, all of pretty much anywhere you want to go.
And next week, we already have some content. We went to Universal, as you mentioned, Universal Orlando, and we had some very nice experiences there. We had a great meal experience that we'll talk about, and we ate in an area that I've been told not everyone knows about, so it'll be fun to discuss that next week.
It's amazing how much we've done since
And the tribute store also.
Yes, it's amazing how much we've done since we got back from, from the Disney cruise. Like now
So
feels
much.
this feels like months ago now, but it's really nice to kind of relive it and see what we liked.
Well,
and,
the Top of the World Lounge seems like forever
oh my
ago.
gosh, yes, that was a really fun experience.
The new villains themed. We can talk about that at some point.
Have we not?
No.
I don't know.
We've been
what we
busy
talked
with
about.
all these other things.
Right.
So we have lots to get caught up on before our next adventures begin.
It's only 2 weeks until Mickey's Not So Scary
Less
Halloween
than
party.
2 weeks. In 2 weeks we'll have already gone and hopefully recovered from the first Mickey's Not So Scary.
And then we'll have a show about that.
Of course.
So
yeah.
we'll be able to
We're actually
talk
going
about
to the
that.
first two Mickey's Not So Scary parties.
And
then
the Disney cruise, the Disney Wish.
by August 17th, Halloween will be over, and it's time to turn our attention to Christmas.
No. We
still have Halloween in Paris.
Yes.
And at Disneyland.
as long as we go to Disneyland, like
we
now.
have Oogie Boogie tickets.
Right now we're very full on our schedule, so if something has to go, it's not Disneyland Paris. I'm going to say that. Disneyland Paris is my number one right now, and then Disney Wish, and then I love Disneyland. So
Anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we will see you all next week.
have a great week.